Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackenberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
And just like that, we're back for another episode of Kracks. John Orlando here as always. And we've got Mr. Bill Krackenberger back in the studio where he belongs in his beautiful home city of Las Vegas. This is your home city. Say it.
This is my home city. Say it. Listen, Vegas is home, though. It is home. It's been home for 17 years. And I always, when I'm in a conversation with people, I'll always say, back home, because it's just a common thing, natural thing.
Because you're an East Coast guy.
Yeah. You know, back home the way it works. Or, do you know anyone back home that can do me a favor? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or whatever,
Right.
But, yeah, no, Vegas is where I call home. And, really, just being back east, I can't believe I forgot how bad it gets humidity-wise. It was great.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, it was great. Then, bang, humidity hit. And it's just like you go outside and you just drench with
It just
sweat.
hits you instantly, right?
Yeah.
But the food's better back there. Let's just be honest, right?
The food's better.
It is.
The food's better. I went to a restaurant last night here in town. I flew back in yesterday, and the array of restaurants I have lined up the next 3 nights are ridiculous. But I have so many people in town. That's why. So last night, number one toughest restaurant to get in Las Vegas I've ever had experience with. Like literally, they won't take money. You could put $300 rolled up and give it to the guy, and he won't. Sorry, I can't do nothing. We're booked till August.
Could I guess?
Sure.
Can you give me any kind of hint?
A famous chef. That's too much.
Hell's Kitchen. You can't get into Hell's Kitchen at Caesars.
That's it. They're gonna think we made this up.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to book that 2 weeks out, man.
The K-Man booked it 24 hours out.
Really?
For 8 people.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And you got in?
Sick. 5:30. Yeah. So people couldn't get in.
Right.
My guy. By the way, doesn't matter. You have the top 7-star card.
Right.
$100,000 credit line. That means nothing.
Right.
It means nothing. You knew exactly where I meant.
Yeah.
So my friend flew in with his son, and his son wanted to go. His 13-year-old son wanted to go, and I heard the food was just okay.
Oh, the food's incredible.
I heard the food was just okay, nothing special. So I was like, okay, I'll pop in there and maneuver, see if I can maneuver. And literally, they don't take money or nothing to get in. We got in. I did get in. I got in from a president of a casino. Got me in. I had to call a favor in.
Right.
So I got in, and the place shocked me. I didn't know it was like that.
Incredible.
Now the show is popular, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
So there's all these pictures on the wall, these chefs, and everyone's taking pictures with the chefs, with and then the kitchen, the open air kitchen, beautiful, gorgeous kitchen there. And now I realize that the place was good. Everyone loved their food.
It's incredible.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You see how you hear things and stuff? That's not true.
No, I used to have a great hookup there. So Michelle Tribble is a chef.
Okay.
She won the TV show. And that was the restaurant they gave her.
Right.
So she was the head chef there.
Right.
But she just quit last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she got, I guess she posted something like she got tired of taking I guess she's kind of shy and taking the photos with everyone.
Oh, wow.
And some guys, when they take photos with girls, they don't do it.
Yeah.
They're not so, their hand position.
Oh, wow.
They do creepy things sometimes. She just got tired of that. So she's like, I can't do this anymore. It's stressing her out.
Okay.
But I used to be able to get in.
So how's the housewife life now?
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's a big job, man.
No, it's a big job.
What are those people? What do they make?
Exposure.
What does this chef make?
Yeah, maybe more. A head chef's going to make a lot more, actually.
Yeah, and bragging rights.
Yeah,
right?
bragging rights and stepping stones.
It's like an incredible hookup. Yeah. Food there is good. Man.
I was shocked. Everyone was shocked how good the food was. So, I guess I'm not in touch with reality. I don't think you are either. I think you and I are in the same boat here. So there was 8 of us for dinner.
And I know what you're going to say.
Well, no, I thought it was reasonable.
Oh.
I thought it was reasonable. It was $900.
I was going to say $1,000.
Yeah, it was $900. I thought it was very reasonable, $900. And then,
but it's $100 a person, really. It's not.
And then I'm telling my wife on the way home. I said, That place was really reasonable. It was $900, and by the way, I didn't pay. It was my birthday yesterday. I don't
what?
Yeah. So yeah, they took
Happy birthday. Wait a minute.
No,
what?
Yeah.
You don't get to just. By the way, that.
Yeah. Well,
it's the Crack Man's
that's
birthday.
The reason why the next 3 days I have and I'm not really a guy that celebrates a birthday. I like celebrating other people's. I don't like to even know anyone. I don't like anyone to know my birthday. Oh, that's the end of that.
Oh my God!
So I had that. I have guys that were coming. They came into town from Myrtle Beach. They took me out there tonight. I have a different set of guys going to SW tomorrow night. Different set of guys going to Joe's at the Forum Shops. It's freaking two of my favorite restaurants. Now this place might be in my top 5 restaurants in town.
It's really good.
So. So my friend paid for dinner, and he pays. As a matter of fact, I have never paid around this guy.
Really?
I have never paid once.
That says a lot.
This guy, yeah, he pays, or else he gets me. I'm very upset. So anyway,
can I ask what he does?
Gambler.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a gambler. This guy comes in with $100,000.
He just fires away.
Like
blackjack, like table games.
Retired investor though. Restaurant. He had bars, and you know what I mean.
Okay. Wait, I know this guy.
No.
Oh, okay. Not the Mastros
from Myrtle
guy.
Beach.
Oh no. Okay. I thought it was the Mastros. Your Mastros guy.
No.
Okay.
No. Paul. No.
Okay.
No. We're gonna bring him in one day too. God, he has such great stories.
I bet.
Oh God. He was telling me some Tony Spilotro stories, man.
Seriously?
Last week, because he owned a casino
right
on the corner of the Sahara and the Strip, which now is the world's largest gift shop. So that used to be called a Jolly Trolley for years. They had matter of fact, someone just the other day told me, your friend, you don't realize how good the hamburgers were there. 99-cent hamburgers were unbelievable in 1975. But I'm going off tangents here. But anyway,
I like it.
He told me right next door was Tony Spilotro's. If you watch the movie Casino, you see it's called the Gold Rush. Well, it was right next door. So So he had some experiences with Tony. Good. Tony really respected him though. Paul's 80 years old too, so he's been around a while. What was I going back to? I was like, okay, so he paid the bill, and the girl was such a great waitress, on point. He gave her $1,500. So I gave her a $600 tip.
Really?
Yes, she was great. So on the way home, I was saying, he's a big tipper if his service is good, and she was on point. She was so good.
That's 3 times what a good tip would be.
Yeah, but when you know what though,
that's awesome.
When it's relative with guys that bet more than you're betting $5,000 and $10,000 a roll on a crap table,
right?
You know what I mean? You feel you want to make someone's day for $600.
For sure. That's awesome.
And I'm sorry, that's the way I rate people too in life, is how they take care of people. No tipping pipping. Let's not get into it. Yeah, but so. On the way home, and my wife, she's much smarter than me. She goes, "Are you kidding me? $900 for dinner?"
Right.
No, that's really expensive. And I still say, you're at one of the top restaurants probably in the United States. Number one, hardest to get into here. Yeah. I called on the phone just the day before I'm sorry. I called 3 days before.
Yeah.
They said we can get a party of 2 in late August at 10 p.m. I'm dead serious.
I know.
No, I'm dead serious.
I know.
So to be able to really, I hate calling in favors like that, but I knew somebody and I did call in a favor to get in. Now I don't have to call a favor in no more. I got the waitress's number, $600, of course. I mean, yeah.
Right. She's like, I'll get you in when you want to come next time.
Just call me, and I also got the GM, the general manager over there, came over and gave me her card. And so now I have some cards if I want to go again. So, it was a good experience. And it just, again, I love going out to eat. I love these kind of places.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's fun.
But we had no dessert or not a coffee or nothing. So I guess
you probably didn't drink either.
No drinks.
Right, yeah. So
I think there was 2 drinks at the table.
Right.
One person had just a little glass of wine, and the other guy had a cool old-fashioned. That's what it's called, an old-fashioned.
Okay.
I was going to say an old-fashioned kind of drink. It was called an old-fashioned.
Bring some drinkers in there, and it's $2,000.
It would be a lot more.
Yeah.
There was only 2 drinks at the whole table.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought, and the experience was good. But I guess that is a lot, $110 a person.
It is, but you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
And,
you're
it's
in the top.
Yeah.
I'm beef Wellington.
That's what I had. That's their dish.
You can't get it. You can't get stuff like that.
That's their dish.
The beef Wellington, and
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it comes with like the pureed potatoes.
Yep.
Little carrot. It was so good. I said, bring a couple more of those potatoes, and then they had the appetizers were good. We had a couple, maybe 5 apps for the table, and I found one of the dishes they had, this lobster risotto, was really killer.
I hate that I can't go to lunch with you after the show today because we have a meeting.
I said you want to go to lunch.
I have a meeting, and you're making me hungry, and it's your birthday.
I didn't eat breakfast yet.
Killing me.
Yeah, I might have let you break the rules and pay.
I would have. Take you to In-N-Out, take you to I take you to a nice place. Nothing but the best for you, Crack.
You go for a double salt. Good guy.
And so how was Atlantic City? You were just back east?
Yes.
Was it good?
Financially? No. But, yeah. They had these great. I got some sick promotions. So I got like $7,500 to walk in just to go over to these places, and I did a whole East Coast tour, and this is to show you something. I mean, look at you want to be sick. I mean, this is how hard it is to win. I guess I erased it. Yeah, I guess I did erase it.
You tried to block. You wanted to remove it from your memories.
Well, there's a check. I took a check for it. So here, Ocean Casino Resort, William Krackenberger, $20,000. So I hit a $20,000 jackpot.
Okay.
And still got spanked.
And you took a check so you could definitely go home with something, kind of thing. Why did you take a check?
No, that's not me.
You don't care.
No.
So why did you take a check?
Well, honestly, I said to myself, I walked in here with $25,000. I said, let me take a check. To go, well, I don't want to have to, walk home. I just didn't want to travel with $50,000 on the plane in case I hit another jackpot.
Right.
I said, give me a check. I'll do that once in a while.
Okay.
Give me a check instead of cash.
Right.
I said, if I go through, I'm not going to really go through this $25,000. By the way, I went there with much more. I'm embarrassingly to say what I walked in with to these casinos with in Las Vegas. They had great promotions.
Right.
They had, matter of fact, someone just texted me on Twitter and said, "Hey, I seen because this guy seen me in Atlantic City." And he, let's get his question. Let's see his name, Mike N. Sand. It says, I don't know. I'm sorry, I missed it. Racked up $650 at Hard Rock, 20 times, 30 times points on Monday night, and that's something that they had there at Hard Rock, which it was one of the best promotions ever. As you see there, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times free play, 7 to 10 p.m.
Meaning you're getting 30 times the comp points?
Yeah, 30 times the cash back.
Oh, wow.
Which is sick. It might not ever happen again. And again, I probably shouldn't be like a lot of the Advantage AP guys. I don't know if you probably can't see that there, but there's 30 times point. You probably can't see it, but that probably won't happen again. But then again, the casino was so packed on Monday. It was busier, literally busier than any Saturday that could be in the place. They must have made so much money on this. But the cash back was a lot. Like this guy said he made $600. You know what I mean? Cash back on the 30 times free play. So all you're doing really is looking to break even or lose a few bucks and get the cash back.
Right.
My cash back was ridiculous. So
wait, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that.
Ridiculous.
Come on.
Yeah.
More than 3K.
More than 3K. Much more. Yeah.
Much more than 3K?
Yeah, because
more
I was
than
playing...
7,500.
No.
Okay.
No, it's around there.
Okay.
Yeah, around 6,500.
I like how I can pull that out.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, so I made a lot of cash back.
Right.
But I just, if you don't hit Royals, you're not going to win there.
Right.
Even though I hit the Royal at Ocean on 15 times Friday. They had 15 time points, which is worth something. It's worth a couple, once they're worth about 1%. This Hard Rock one was worth more than that, much more than that. So all the wise guys were there. I mean, teams flew in.
Really?
A team flew in from Florida with a team of guys that
just
were Advantage players.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's 40,000 to 1 to hit a Royal. That's the mathematical odds, depending on what game. But it's about 40,000 to 1, depending on what game. Because strategies are different, going for different things on different games. But it's really close. So it's amazing to see the single line. By the way, that's the one thing I hate. I like multiple lines. Mm-hmm. So you really have to get really lucky. And sure enough, there's a guy, one of the wise guys, hit 2 Royals within 17 minutes of each other. You know how hard it is to do?
It's incredible.
You play a little video poker?
Yeah, some people don't hit a Royal their whole life. I've never hit one.
You've never hit one.
Yeah.
This guy hit 2 in 17 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
He hit 216. They had 16,000 for Royals. $20 a hand on this game. He hit 2, and that whole bank right across from me hit 5 Royals. Now people say to me, "Oh man!" Like one guy came over and he's an Advantage player. He actually quit the promo. He was on that bank of 8 machines, 5 Royals hit. This guy's an Advantage guy. He quit half hour early, which shocked me.
Oh my God!
Like you know how really frustrated you must be, how cynical, how dark, how beaten up you are.
Right. I'll never hit it.
He says, "You know what? I'm done. I lost $500." He said, "I was planning to play the whole day, but these guys around me are so lucky. They run so well, and." it's going to be hard to believe that I'm saying something like this. Running so well. There are things in life we don't know. That's beyond the math, the algorithms, the models. Running well. My father used to say, my Uncle Bobby, my mother's Italian side, all those guys. But my Uncle Bobby, Bobby D, he had a busted ass. That's what the name was. He goes, yeah, your uncle's got a busted ass. A busted ass. Anyone back east, anyone else, they know what that means. They're just so lucky. They're just so lucky. And I remember one time my dad had a straight flush, which is a giant hand. Right. And my uncle had 4 of a kind in the same game. He beat him with 4 of a, he beat him with, or was it opposite?
Opposite.
Yeah, opposite.
Right.
Opposite.
He beat him with a straight flush.
My father had 4 of a kind. He had straight flush.
Oh my God.
And
I mean, it's like 1 in a million.
And my father and my uncle said to him, you really shouldn't have been in the hand. Told my father. And it's just he was so lucky. He had the dark sun. My uncle was cool. He was like remind me of the guy with the rose colored glasses. He always had businesses on the boardwalk.
Yep.
He'd always hustled to make money, but he had those rose colored glasses and. So anyway, it was just thinking about people are going back to the running lucky. Like my cousin, very, very smart guy, went on to college, went on to a technical school, and he mathematical guy, multimillionaire today too, a very, very sharp guy. He always said there's something more to it. There's people that things just run in life.
Yeah.
You run good.
Yeah.
I'm not really a believer in stuff like that, but I know that there are definitely runs. And I'm sure there is more to it if I put some thought into or time into it.
Are there ever times where you just feel different? You feel lucky? You feel like you're going to win and you do? Because that happens to me.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I always feel pretty lucky.
Really?
I always feel that I run lucky. That I just
Daily.
I just feel that I'm lucky.
Right.
In the casinos and stuff. And granted, this losing trip,
right.
I've done very, very well on bonuses and promotions.
Right.
Made sick money on these kind of things. But
like
this particular, I had a losing since March 1st. I think I told you I'm down 6 figures doing stuff since March 1st. Right. Just betting on all sorts of, casino things and stuff.
Right.
But I was up a lot of money though the first 6 months. So
right.
It's just variables and averages and things, fluctuation.
Like when you walk into the casino, your mindset is more like, oh, these poor bastards, I'm about to get them.
Nah, not that bad, but I'm not one that gets upset if I lose or anything.
Right.
And I quit. In other words, that promotion went until 10 p.m. Well, 10 p.m., even though I was stuck about 10 grand, maybe a little bit more, actually. No, a little bit more. Because I was financing my own little team there. I had 4 of us there. So I
must have missed that phone call and an invitation.
It would have been.
Should I check?
You would have
let
been
me check
bored.
my email.
Honestly, you would have been bored.
I don't have anything.
Yeah,
I have nothing from you.
Yeah, you would have been bored though.
Yeah.
Single line.
Hey, let's not worry about my boredom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't planning. It was just going to be me and another guy, but I met some guys there, and I said, "Why don't you guys play more higher level? I'll give you a really good deal." They were playing quarters, and they were stuck $1,500. I said, "Well, why don't we play $2 level, and I'll give you a deal. If you hit the $2 level." I get all the cash back though on that you're going to get back. However, if you hit, I'll give you the $1,500 back. You're playing quarters trying to get $1,000 jackpot. I made them a better deal. Mm-hmm. And these guys I know, I said, listen, I'm going to give you $1,500, not $1,000. And they said, of course I want to play. Plus it'll make their card look better. There's a lot of reasons. So I made a good deal with them. In the end, I didn't make a good deal because I actually lost probably more like almost $15,000. But anyway, so I played there, and when I walked in there, even though 10 o'clock came and 10 o'clock was over, right then and there, I said, well, that's it. It's over. Even though I had plenty of more money in my pocket, I left. I said, look, that's it. The promotion's over. There's no reason to play.
Right.
Hardest thing for a gambler to do. Leave when he's down a good amount of money and he has more in his pocket. Yeah. Because what's the casino
hardest
hook?
thing? I'm going to say impossible. Next to impossible. It's next to impossible.
That's a scary word, impossible.
But
that means you lose it all.
If you were to poll the masses of people that gamble, I feel like most people will go through every dollar they have.
Wow.
When they're down in the casino.
Yeah,
no,
because all they want to do is say,
I just want to get even.
Let me just get even and go home.
the lifelong quest
and the
to get even.
Why, I want to say that's the number one reason why the casinos are in business.
100%.
If it wasn't for that, if you had a time limit and said, we're leaving at 7, we're regimented.
Right.
We're going at 7 o'clock. Like these people that come to Vegas. I don't know where you guys are coming from, like Iowa and these non-gambling areas of Utah. They say, well, we got to be regimented. We're going to do this from 2 to 4. We have $400 a day to gamble with, and that's it. $400 a day. Like, how do you have that kind of a plan every day? Well, that's all the money we got budgeted for that. Yeah, come from New York or New Jersey and see if you're coming with a regimented plan.
Right.
Credit cards, borrowing, markers, everything.
Whatever it takes.
It's all going. So, but yeah. So anyway, that's. I like that you said that. You actually solidify that in my mind about being. That is the hardest thing to do.
It's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, and you're saying impossible. And for you to say that,
I feel like
it
is.
That may be. The more I think about it, when I was a kid, I would go to the racetrack when I was a stone cold sucker.
Yeah.
And if the last race came and I was still down $200, I was betting, whatever I had in my pocket on the favorite. Because I said, oh, well, let me get this back. Right. I got this money and I'll leave. Whatever. Just stone cold sucker.
Before we get into baseball, and there's a lot of baseball to get into, Del Mar. When is Del Mar?
We don't have a date yet, but I'm definitely going.
I'm coming.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. I may have a really, really, really sick connection.
Really?
For rooms. I'm hoping.
Really?
At like one of the nicest places. Like one of the nicest places there for like under $300 a night. By the way, and I say that it's on the ocean. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's probably more like $800 to $1,000 a night. Is the price.
Really?
I'm told I can get it for like $200. I was like, wow. So
wow.
See.
Okay. Keep me posted.
Let's see.
Let's talk a little baseball. We're coming up on the All-Star break. Ohtani on the Angels is just tearing it up, and I heard something. I don't know. Can we talk about it? But
yeah,
what we talked about before
I just showed you the bets.
You showed me bets. His odds to win MVP at the beginning of this season was
31 to 1. I got 31 to 1. I gave it out to the Crack Wins guys at 30 to 1. It was available at 3 different places that I seen at around 30 to 1. I took 31 to 1, and you could see when I bet 31 to 1, it was only taking. It was really strange. It was taking $32. It was to win 1,000, whatever each bet was the maximum to win 1,000. So I was like, oh my god! I said, all right, let's give it out to the guy. So I gave it out to the guys, and I said, I'll bet it a couple times, and I figured they were going to lower it, and they didn't lower the odds. I just kept on going.
Possible? Just a glitch? Is that a?
I guess it was just a $32 max, and they said,
who cares?
Let them win $1,000 if they want to bet that.
Right.
But my thing is, why don't you raise your limit then?
Right.
So $32, I kept on hitting it over and over and over, and each time I hit it, it didn't move. So
and they won't dispute that later, right?
No,
it's impossible to dispute.
It's impossible.
It is what it is.
No,
right.
It's regulated. I mean, and I bet it. I bet it to win almost $30,000.
Yeah. For those listening, I don't know if they even realize for the non-baseball fans, the cool thing about him is he plays position, he plays outfield, and then he also pitches every 5 days. I mean, this is the first time this has ever happened, to my knowledge.
And we didn't win this bet yet either. Listen, if it stopped today, we would. But we didn't win this bet yet. There could be injuries. There could be a lot of things. For sure. And, someone asked me today, so are you going to hedge that at all?
No.
I'm not hedging. I mean, I guess you could play some other guys around them. But
why?
Yeah. AL MVP, by the way. It's only AL MVP. So it's,
right.
I mean, it's just not, I don't know. I'm not going to. I wouldn't even know how to start hedging on that. And if you do, people that love hedging, they'd have to realize their next bet when they hedge is a negative EV bet. So the only reason why you want to hedge is because either you bet too much money on it. It means the money means too much.
Right.
Or maybe something that they don't know. Maybe there's something going on off the field or the court that that maybe you hear about that they don't know. So
it's funny you say that. Mookie Betts is not having a very good year. He's hitting like a little under 250, I think. He's like struck out like 10 times more than normal or something. And the first thing I start thinking when I see that is like, oh, is something going on? Like, is he going through something personal? Or I mean, he could just be having an off year, but he's so
$40
consistent.
million a year that he's getting.
Right. But I always wonder, like, what's going on?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And now, is this the first year of his big contract or the second year?
Second
year.
He did bring home the World Series.
Yeah,
last
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you start thinking things.
Yeah.
And earlier in the season, I actually bet them to win the World Series, and
I still think they'll win it.
I thought I was stealing. I said, "Wow, 3.5 to 1." I got great odds. It was literally at Circa here in town. You could have laid 3 to 1. You could have said the no minus 320. I think it was. I could have middled the bet, and I didn't. And now I think you can get more. You can get 380.
They just swept the Giants, didn't they? Did they just sweep them?
Did they sweep them?
Or they won? They definitely won the last 2 in a row.
Yeah,
or 2.
No, they got it. They have the talent.
They've been playing without Bellinger, without Corey Seager, and
Bellinger's
without
back now,
Max
though, right?
Muncy. Bellinger's back, and he hit a couple bombs since he's been back.
Yeah.
I believe Muncy's back now, and Seager's coming back.
Okay, so they're getting healthy.
Yeah, they've been banged up, and they're still in the running with one of the best records. I mean, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, so they'll be there. Good.
Yeah, NBA playoffs. I'm still feeling good. I was hoping the Suns were going to close it out. What do you think?
Well, you know what? Look at the injuries here too. We were talking about that off air a little bit. It's amazing that three of the teams have their top players out too. It's just let me tell you. Already, I always say this: NBA is one of the hardest sports to beat. I'm a broken record. And NFL sides and NBA sides. Not talking about totals now, guys. Talking about the sides. One of the hardest things to beat. And now this throws another wrench in the game when you have injuries of the top player. You don't know who's going to step into their shoes, if the other team's going to use it for motivation, or if the injured team is going to use it for motivation. You know what I mean? Come on, guys, let's play this one for Giannis or Kawhi or something. Let's get up for this,
Right.
You just don't know. You don't know what's going on in the locker room. That's why you got to stick to, reading the social media and reading some, anything. Just you can pick up a little nugget of information. But again, I'm not going to be giving out any NBA sides for sure.
No,
I'm not. I'm just some totals here and there, but sides is not. Listen, I have 5-6 weeks here. Is NFL preseason football. One of my fortes. One of the things I love to do.
Wait, that's in 5 weeks. Wow, it just goes so quick.
Oh yeah. So we have NFL preseason. I got props coming up for NFL season. I am so pumped. I used to not be an NFL guy, but since I've been involved in the preseason and props and some totals. And
you are the prop king.
Well,
and I give you props.
Really. Yeah, thanks.
Hockey. This is a crazy thing. I didn't realize this Canadian team has not won the Stanley Cup since, is it 1993?
93. Wow.
How's that possible?
That's unbelievable. That's their bread and butter. Is they love
They
live and die. That's the right word, not bread and butter. Live and die hockey in Canada. So I would have thought that they've had some championship teams the past decade and a half or something like that, but they haven't. So this team just beat our Vegas Golden Knights here.
Yeah,
really, really disappointing for the Knights. But again, the value that was on Montreal was amazing. Listen, I wasn't even here to bet a lot, but I know from my guys texting me, it was amazing how much money that you could take such better prices here betting against the Vegas Golden Knights. So that's something that you should keep an eye out for next year too, guys. And is
it the same with the Raiders here, like hometown team type of stuff?
Last year it didn't matter because last year it didn't show because there was no stands, there was no fans in the stands.
Right.
This year may be a little bit different.
Right.
Maybe a little bit different. So we're going to see what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
This year's going to be 8 games are going to be full of this town's going to be full of Raider fans and the cumulative bets of $25, $50, and $100 going to see the game can equal a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if you get extra half a points here. If the Raiders were touted as a big team like of course like a Tampa Bay or a Kansas City, or if they were a big winning team, you can guarantee with the public money all over the country and the world and the local money, then I would say more so, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing what happens, get in on all this action coming up with, still got a lot of baseball and football coming up. Download the Crack Wins app. It's on Google. It's on Apple. You can just go to crackwins.com. Crack's been on fire. You say you've been. Let's just clarify. Earlier, you said you lost 6 figures. That's not this stuff though. That's just you messing around at video poker.
That's me playing casino and sports.
Right.
Now, you have to understand. There's a lot of things that I can bet on by living in Vegas or by even being in Jersey when I'm there that I can't give out to the public because it's only that unique book that has that,
right.
you know? So like I'll find little things on certain things that I'll bet on because, you know, it's plus 220 and it's only plus 190 at the sharper sports books or the offshore sports books, which is the sharper world. So I'll throw, you know, a couple thousand on that. That has just been going terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
And I also would imagine that there's some picks, like you probably have to pick and choose because you're in the public eye and this is what you do.
Right.
I guess I'm asking, do you have to like, there might be some picks that might be even too aggressive where you probably have to determine like, do I want to give that to the Crack Wins guys and put my neck out there? Like when it comes to an underdog or whatever, where you have to like kind of pick and choose what you give them, like the safer underdog, if there is such a thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
At Crack Wins, we give out the better stuff, though.
Right.
I mean, it's the reason why we're up hundreds of units.
Right.
I mean, we're up a ton of money for the customers since I started the app and started the site. So they get the quality stuff
because it's right. Because it's like you advising someone what to bet is not the same thing necessarily as you personally, because you could take a flyer on a certain thing or a certain bet that because you're not going to get hurt. Right, you're trying to look out for the guys.
Everything I give out, I'm betting on.
Of course,
I'm not one of those guys.
No, of course, I know you are.
Yeah, everything I bet on, like you see the Otani thing I give out, even though I can only bet $32 on it. I said I want to bet it. Well, I thought I could bet it once. I said, well, at least the customers can bet it. The guys can bet it. You know, that's and they have sports books that'll take the bet. And then I found that I could bet it so many times, I kept on rebetting it.
32 was your limit or anyone's limit?
That was anyone's limit.
Anyone's limit on that.
Yeah, that was anyone's limit on that.
Interesting.
It surprised me. They had a 2-win of. Some of the books do that. They'll have a max win.
Right.
Not even thinking. It could be a grocery dollar at 100 to 1 or something. And,
right.
So they'll have a max win put on it. But so I do give out the stuff, like I said, that I'm betting on. But and the cream of the crop the Crack Wins guys get. I look forward to this preseason football.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it already because I know we get great information. I look at the closing line value. The stuff we give out just moves tremendously.
Yeah.
Everything moves to our way. 90% of the time I'm on the right side of the move. We've held our own and. College basketball and props, and when 60% is a sick number. But even if you win 52.38%, it makes you a winning sports bettor. So, that's the number you have to win. Now, if you have a couple sports books you play with, that lowers that house edge down. If you play with some reduced juice and some bonuses, it lowers it down even more.
Right.
So. Anyway, so we're doing good. I'm happy though. I'm happy for the customers getting on the best side of the line, get the right stuff, and in the end, they stick with me. They're going to win.
You're going to be real proud of me. So I know your daily ritual is every day you get on WSN.com and you look at articles so I have adopted your way of thinking now. Oh, cool. And I was pleasantly surprised. Travis, maybe you can pull this up, the link I sent you. So scroll down to where it turns blue. They've got a whole new UFC section. Look at that, Crack. Look at that beauty, okay? And what I like that WSN's doing is they're really spoon feeding. They're assuming the public doesn't know about UFC, and they're trying to educate them here. So they really did a great job breaking down the weight classes, what the difference is between straw weight, flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavy, and heavy. And they give different characteristics for what those fighters are like. And then, Travis, if you go down to where it says fighting styles, this was really interesting, Crack. If you look on the screen up there, I don't know if you can find it. So they broke down the different styles of fighting, right? So there's wrestlers like Khabib, right? There's kickboxers like a Wonder Boy Thompson. There's jiu-jitsu people like the Diaz brothers. And then there's boxing like a Conor, that would be Conor McGregor's style. Karate would be like a George St. Pierre's style, although he's a wrestler too, so I'd be curious to see what they put him in. And then there's judo, which was like a Ronda Rousey. And they broke down how many have been how many champions those different styles have generated. Wrestling, Crack, if you're gonna bet, clearly bet the wrestlers because they've turned out 71 champions in the UFC. The closest next thing would be kickboxers, 26. That's a pretty wide gap.
Yeah.
So if you've got a wrestling base as a fighter, as much as I can't stand them because they bore me.
Right.
The Khabib style of just dragging someone down and holding them down. Although Khabib does beat them up when he gets them down, so I will give him props there. But yeah, it's pretty.
That's just one section of the site, but that's great.
Yeah, that's just one section of the site.
I'm on the site right now, of course, and I can't believe how many articles get posted on there daily. I mean, really, today's June 30th, right? So look, 1, 2, 3. 9 articles are all June 30th.
Yeah.
And by the way, I didn't even click below. There's even more in different sections of the site. That's just the latest sports section of the site. Then there's the sports book news, the bonuses. The situations around the country right now for these new jurisdictions trying to get open for football. They're all battling to get open for football season. Sports betting in New York, of course, was passed, so they have it at the 4 brick and mortars. However, they need to get mobile betting. Mobile betting is going to take over New York, and it's going to put a little bit of a hurting on New Jersey also. I'm sure that will happen here, but probably not the beginning. It'll probably happen more towards the end of football season. Again, WSN, click on the bonuses. That's one of my favorite sections. And you click on the first state that comes up is New Jersey, but there's all of them. Anyone that has sports betting's on there. Illinois, Colorado, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and so forth. But the bonuses is part of my living.
Yeah.
How I make a living here, really, too. And it's extra money, and WSN has the best ones. Just look here at William Hill, 500 risk-free bet. DraftKings, 1,000. $1,000 deposit bonus, that is, by the way, folks. Click on that link, and you get $1,000 deposit bonus, not free bets. Bet365, BetMGM, PointsBet, 1,000 in free bets. Unibet, Sugar House, and these are all. I'm not even reading the ones that are $100. Golden Nugget, these are all $250 or more. Most of them are $500 and $1,000. That's unbelievable. These guys, these sports books are buying business through sites like WSN, but I don't know a single one that gives better bonuses than WSN. There's some unique bonuses unique to this site right on there, so make sure people check it out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Crack. It's been a while since we've done any Twitter questions. I don't know why we fell off on Twitter questions for some reason.
Pull the question down.
You posted it and you got bombarded.
I pulled it down. Yeah, and I'll get to the rest of them if I don't get to them today, guys.
Yeah,
I'll get to them. We picked out 4 or 5 or 5 or 6, something like that. So
yeah. So let's go through some of these here. Let's see. Rocky's here asks, "What's the biggest 24-hour hot streak you've ever been on?" I love this question.
It's a great question, and I want to answer it because it's a relative. People want to know about this. These are all spontaneous answers, really. I didn't give any thought to these questions. You posted them on there. I just really didn't. But that one, I'll tell you right now, there isn't something that stands out in my mind of 24-hour hot streak. I guess winning the $500,000 at the M contest, when I won the contest down at the M Casino when they first came into town that first year. I guess that would be got to be considered a hot streak.
I would think so.
Yeah, that was a good it was a good period too, because I won a Royal. I hit a Royal on a 10-time $2 machine, a Delt Royal, which is really hard to get. It's like
Delt.
It's like I've had 4 of them.
hold. Get paid.
They hold by themselves.
Oh, nice.
Most machines in your Delta Royal will just do an auto hold.
Okay.
They did. It held by itself, so it was $80,000. So I picked up $80,000 that, and I think it was in not maybe 24 hours. I think it was 2 days later. But that was a pretty good streak that I can remember. My friends are I have guys that swear about this, and they'll start pumping it up, and you should pump up your bankroll. You should pump up your bet size if you have a bigger bankroll. But it's such a percentage minute to what they do. They probably, if they're betting, say they're betting $1,000 a game and they win, they go on a little streak and they're up like $10,000 in one day, and now all of a sudden they're going to bet $2,500 a game or $3,000 a game, where really you're supposed to bet it. Percentage of bankroll, you're probably supposed to bet like less than $1,100 per game.
Okay,
just put
just a little extra.
Just a little bit. But I know people do that. But yeah, so that's really the answer I can think about. Thanks for the question, Rock.
Okay, and moving on. The poker dealer asks, "What software do you use when live betting to ensure you are as close to live as possible?"
I like to use it's a pay service though, so I don't recommend people going out and buying it though. It's too much. It's like $500 a month. But you're asking the question. I use Don Best live feed. It's funny when you say live betting. I think I can honestly make not maybe a living for me, but I know I can make an extra 20 to 30 to maybe 50,000 a year extra, just sitting there watching, doing market capping, watching, and what that means is you're watching the live lines on Don Bester, or on, even if you can go to pinnacle.com and watch the live line compared to these slow-moving, antiquated sports books. I think you can market cap with a sharper line against a slower-moving line, and I think you can make money just doing that with not knowing a team, who's on the team, how they play, not knowing game pace, nothing.
Right.
I just think they have better software. If you find a sports book that has better software and that's more in tune and a sharper sports book than someone else, I think just following that live model, you can make yourself some money. I know you can.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. John Lai asks, the basic of turning from a casual to sharp bettor.
Follow crackwins.com. Download the app.
That is the answer, isn't it?
That's one of them. But I always say, like, why would you guys go work 50 hours a week and try to come home and try to handicap and watch these guys on TV tell you what to do when we have all the work that we do is already in there? But however, though, the basic things are, make sure you have multiple outs. It's a hard thing for people to do. People want to touch their ticket after the game, and that means touch their money after the game is over. They want to cash it. Listen, if you're coming to, even if you're coming to Vegas for a week trip, I know guys that come here for March Madness, and they, whatever the casinos they plop down in, they stay in there. Even though they're coming for a week, that's where they're going to bet, that line. Right. Oh, my God, it's sickening. I would never bet just the available line in front of me.
Right.
So, from like exactly what you're saying, casual player to go to a sharp player, come into town, finance. I'll give you the apps to finance. A couple of them I'm not allowed to play at. So I can't play at Stations. I can't play at William Hill. There's a reason. Because they're beatable. So you want to come in, you put money in William Hill, you put money in Stations, maybe you put money in the Coast, the Boyd app, and then you want to make sure you're probably following the like Circa and Westgate, and then you're following some of the other apps too. But you want to put money in, you want to deposit money in those three apps. And you want to have a choice of places to bet.
Yeah.
That's the first step from going to casual to I think sharp bettor. That's a good thing to do.
Okay, and we've got two more. Samuel Oliver Vaughn asks, my book is cheap. Is there a way to set up a runner system?
Now, I think he's asking, his book is not, his sports book, his bookmaker's not taking a lot of money from him. So runners, well, first of all, runners are illegal. So I don't deal with runners. You can't pay someone. People don't realize that. They think, oh, you could just have a buddy in a casino bet for you. Well, if you pay him a salary, it's actually an illegal thing. You're promoting gambling. So now, granted, runners was a big thing in this town for years and years, and they never really bothered anybody.
Now, is that the same thing as a proxy? I've had a couple girls.
Proxies are different.
Okay, can you explain that? Because I've had a couple girls call me and say, "Hey, I'm a proxy at Westgate." I want to say.
Yep.
What does that mean?
They're licensed with the gaming board.
Okay.
And they are. I say the gaming board. I think it's the gaming board. It could be just the casino. You're licensed to do it. It's a legal entity, though, that you're paying tax on the money you're making and stuff. And what that is it's for the contest, the Westgate and the Circa. You come into town. You have to be there to sign up for the contest.
Okay.
But then when you leave town, you could be anywhere in America, anywhere in the world, and you actually call up or send an email to your proxy, and they put the selections in for you every week. You don't have to be here in town.
Got it.
That's legal. But making an actual bet across a state line, illegal.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, it's done every day.
Right.
Your buddy's in the casino. You come home from New York, and your buddy's like, "Oh, you're out there.
Right.
Yeah. Bet me the Giants at 10-1, or
right.
Bet me there's something. Bet me a future."
But that's technically
illegal.
Believe it
or
or
not, it's technically illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, I know someone that actually got in trouble, had to spend $90,000 on lawyers just giving out games across state lines and telling them, "Yeah, you should bet that at the Westgate. You should bet that." It's crazy. So
wow.
there's clear definitions and of what's legal and what's not legal, and you have to watch what what you're doing. Listen, they're not looking. They're looking to go after syndicates that are betting.
Right.
They're not looking to go after individuals that come home with with $200 ticket for their buddy.
Right.
So technically it's illegal. I don't have runners. I never been a runner guy, and now you don't need them here. You're betting on the apps.
Right.
So you don't even need them.
Going back to the proxy, one more question on that. So if that's for contests, but could they also bet like?
No.
They can't bet like if, hey, I want the Dodgers tonight.
No.
They can't do that.
Now, there was something set up a couple of years ago where a conglomerate of, let's just call it let's just call it what it is. I'm a street guy. I'm sorry. Someone would say They would actually go to a sports book. This one person went to Cantor Sportsbook. He signed up and said, I am going to have a betting pool of guys that are going to be sending me money. They set up a pool, and I'm going to bet for them, for this conglomerate of people, and it's like a hedge fund.
Okay.
He's managing a hedge fund. He's betting for them based on his information. I don't think any of them have ever been successful. I think they've all went under, and they've all stole the people's clients' money.
Right.
Yes, I don't think any of them ever won. That was legal to do that, but you can only bet at one sports book. I don't know how you could, I could beat it,
right?
So I could beat one sports book,
right?
But it would bother me that I have to take 5 on a game, when I could take 5.5 somewhere else, especially during college basketball,
right?
But you can only bet with that entity. This way, they could track your money and track how much money you're making or losing. So,
okay. Last question. Oh no, actually, we got a couple more. Wow, we have a lot of questions. Richard Palma asks, when was the moment you knew that you could do this for a living?
Ooh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's when I was playing that machine in Atlantic City, 30 years ago, I guess it was now, close to 30. And the guy next to me, who I knew was a smart guy, I just knew that he was a real smart guy, and we were playing this blackjack machine when someone told me to go out and play it. I still wasn't really an advantage gambler then. He's the one that he was the head of the card count team at Resorts International, by the way. I just seen him again this past week, and he changed my life there with telling me about the bonuses in the offshore world and how you can find edges and middles and scalps back then. But this is before the internet. It's before Don Best was showing everyone. You could just call from one sports we went out to Vegas. I remember for the grand opening, the Stratosphere Tower was grand opening. So whatever year that was, we went out to Vegas and just finding the line at Stratosphere compared to Caesars and the other little casinos, the differences, and it was just amazing. It was unbelievable. Then I knew when I could go, take a college basketball team +2, and then I can get the other way +2, and that's what it was. It was like ridiculous middles and scalps. That's a little exaggeration of a line, but some of the lines were moving like that, based on the house getting the money in, they would have to move to even up their books.
Right.
That's when I knew this can be, wow. I said, wow, you can actually make money. Well, he's the one that told me you can make money at this just based on the matching deposit bonuses. So you send $1,000 to a sports book, they give you $2,000. Right. So I knew right away this was going to be a bit, and the offshore world was just pumping up there, just starting up. And that's really the moment I knew. So great question, Richard Palmer.
Okay, last question is from Not Telling. I love that name. Not Telling asks, if a fan sees you in a book, I've seen this happen to you. If a fan sees you in a book and you are intently viewing your iPad, would you be annoyed if they came up and said hello?
Jesus. Bill Krackomberger? No way. I'd actually risk losing, making an advantage bet to try to acknowledge someone that takes their time to be so nice to me, and it's just the way my parents raised me. And this probably happened in Atlantic City last week. I was in the casinos a lot, and I had my iPad out a lot and sitting in the book. So someone probably that seen me there. But most people come up to me because I had a heck of that's my wheelhouse, man. I probably had 30, 40 people come up to me, and
I witnessed it
in the 2-week period I was in AC.
Yeah, I witnessed it on that one trip. I went with you to Atlantic City.
Yeah,
we walked into, I don't remember what casino we were watching. Ocean, right? Yeah, we walked into Ocean, and guys were wanting to buy you drinks, and but you turn around, you said no, but then you bought them a round of drinks.
Oh, yeah,
remember? Yeah, you flipped it on them. You had a lot of people. Yo, Crack! In the garage, we had just parked the car, and we were walking in the garage, and a guy saw you.
By me. Yeah, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
They're good people. They want answers, and gambling is such a hard thing to beat.
Yeah,
they just want winners. They just want answers.
Yeah.
I mean, Crack wins.
Crack wins has the answers.
No, I mean they just want, and you know what? They appreciate the show action on Showtime that it was.
Yeah,
I didn't. That show was just a camera following me. It wasn't a promotional thing for me. I never even mentioned Crack wins on there.
Yeah.
Just that they appreciate the honesty and I teach people what to do. And I like just giving out that Stations, William Hill, and Boyd books.
Right.
Great books to have. Most people wouldn't want to share that information because they say, "Well, why are you telling them that?" You're cutting into my earn. Well, that's what I do here.
Right.
That's it.
You're here for the people.
We try to help people.
Speaking of the people, there was a terrible tragedy back east.
The building
in Miami.
Yeah, I've said we were talking off air before, and it just maybe because I flew 5 hours on the plane yesterday and I thought about it. We had that dead time to just think.
Yeah.
I have that all the time on the plane. I really can't watch. Once in a while, I watch a movie or something, but I was just thinking about different things, and it just there was a New York Post article I read, and it had each person that was missing, and I couldn't get through it all.
Yeah.
I actually told my wife that I can't get through the rest of this.
Yeah.
I just can't.
It's awful.
Here I am talking about trying to beat sports books, casinos for half points, and then this is a reality check of what life is. And I've lived in high rises my whole life.
Yeah,
so
we were talking. Me too. In downtown LA,
I lived in high rises. So high rise, I feel very. I just feel safe in there, and I do. I feel safe. I have a guard gate. I have a doorman.
Right.
And you never even think of the building collapsing.
Not even on the table as a possibility. I mean, I lived in LA downtown in a high rise. You worry a little bit about earthquakes.
Yeah.
But
I was just gonna say, there you have earthquakes. You think about a little bit.
And you do, but the building sways.
Yeah, it sways.
The technology. I can't explain it, but
I don't know what happened down there. It was a sinkhole. It was some. They still don't know. Of course, there's all the cynical people that say, there's something more to it.
Right.
I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, I mean, my heart goes out to those people, to those people's families, and the people that are missing, and little kids. I can't take it. I have a really softness for seeing these kids that just were about to start life, and just what it is too. We're in such a business that sometimes we get consumed with things that we just like blinders on. But when I see it on the news, I'm not a news guy, but I see it and I keep going back to it, hoping they're fine. Now it's been like 6 days. I just don't. Think this is going to turn out okay for the 149 missing, and it's like 9/11. Like imagine losing a family member,
awful,
and you have nothing to you can't even bury them.
Yeah,
they just evaporate.
It's awful.
You can't even
Yeah.
I told you I'm a cemetery guy. I visit my parents all the time. I go to a lot of cemeteries around the country and visit, and at least you have something there,
right,
for you to just feel a little bit of
some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't have anything.
Yeah, tragic.
So my heart goes out to them.
Well, let's not end on a somber note. Let's end on a happier note. About 10 days from now, Conor McGregor steps back into the UFC cage for the trilogy fight against Dustin Poirier.
Something tells me you have a side.
You like the Can you hear the? And I don't know if you next week you see that Conor at the top of the. See that? That's little Conor. I'll have Conor next week right here next to me.
He's got a little G.I. Joe action figure.
I got a little Conor figure.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So.
Good.
Yeah, Conor round one. That's my official prediction.
We may have someone in studio that's going to film it, that's going to cover it for ESPN here. We won't say yet.
That would be amazing. I got to say, Crack, we get some incredible guests, and I love all the guests we get, but I do love just sitting down with you one-on-one doing these shows sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Doing it like
we don't
this.
really even need a script. We can just talk about things,
It's great.
Yeah. Good, man.
All right, let's do it again next week.
Great show.
All right, you too, man.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you guys next week on Wisecracks.